Hi there, this is John Anthony Francis Wilcox, and today is Saturday, May the 3rd, 2025. Wow, it's May already. It's also the birthday of my friend Tracy, who I don't hear from anymore, but that's her choice. I hope if she sees this, she has a happy birthday, and I hope even if she doesn't see it, she has a happy birthday. And coming up on the 7th, it is my dear, dear friend Roz's birthday. You have a happy birthday, Roz. You know I love you. So, let's get into the week. A busy week in a lot of ways. First, a long conversation I had. I was talking on, was it Tuesday? Tuesday or Wednesday, but I think Tuesday, to my dear friend Catherine. And her husband Naga Shiva was part of it as well. And we had this long talk about, Kat was telling me about dowsing, which I knew very little about. And it was a fascinating conversation. There's all sorts, and there's a long history behind it. And I just found it very interesting. And it was doubly interesting in that I've known Kat for what will be 45 years, okay, since 1980. And this has never come up. Who knew? And she said that she's been following it as a member of some society or since I think she said 1969. Wow, cool. So it was a very interesting conversation. She was worried that she was boring me, but at no point was it boring, just so you know. It was totally captivating, totally fascinating. I love learning about new stuff and about new aspects of people I've known. So very cool. Props to Kat and Nagashiva. So for my week, I had two reviews I wanted to write that were hanging over my head. They were like a picture of Dorian Gray that was getting more and more disgusting. Just so I had to get them done. And the thing is, when I do a review, I've been doing reviews since 1984, and I try and have it have a bit of me in it whenever possible, so that I'm connecting to it, and hopefully, if I'm connecting to it, you're connecting to it. So it's odd what does it. One was this box set of the Yes album, Close to the Edge. It has like the LP, 5 CDs, a DVD, and a album-sized booklet, and that's all well and fine. And I could just write a dry thing, and I suppose I got into some of that. But then it hit me. I remember reading ages ago somewhere that they found a copy of Close to the Edge when they were cleaning out the Nixon White House. And I thought that was just, I don't picture President Nixon listening to it, although who knows, but maybe his daughter Julie, what is her name? Julie Nixon Eisenhower later on. But who knew? But it made me think about that. And what I didn't include is it was also a horrible article about it in Circus Magazine where someone was convinced that all John Anderson's lyrics were terribly misogynistic and they were quoting them incorrectly to make it fit the article, which was just a sham and a shame. Look at that. Sham is just one letter away from shame. There you go. So I got that done, and then I had this massive Iron Maiden book they sent me. It's over 600 pages, weighs a ton, beautiful book, and called Hallowed by Thy Name, the Iron Maiden Bible, by a guy named Martin Popoff. He's a great writer. He's done a ton of rock and roll books. He's really diligent writer. And I thought, well, I should talk about maybe when I saw them back in 1987, New Haven Coliseum, which is long gone. for their Somewhere in Time tour, and it had the stage during the show. These huge inflatable fingers started appearing and like grabbing at the band, and of course they had an Eddie, and they had like a futuristic head behind them that was like the Eddie head kind of thing. And Bruce Dickinson had this jacket on that had all kinds of lights all over, very futuristic looking, because that was the theme. It was a great concert. And so that brought me into the review and made that go smoother. So I'm glad I got those done. I heard from Social Security that starting in June they're going to take $180 something out for my Medicare. So I called the guy that helped set me up with all the stuff for Medicare, and he said, "Oh no, they're not going to do that. You've got this thing called QMB, and they just haven't communicated with each other yet, and they're going to pay nothing." So I trust him, but I still worry until I see June the 1st that everything's going on. By the way, still no solution to the SNAP situation. So really having to ration. I've got a very empty refrigerator, unfortunately. Although there'll be more provisions in it tomorrow. Usually I order from Stop and Shop on Fridays for their delivery service, but I have to wait till the 3rd, which is today, before my SNAP money kicks in. So I had to put the order in today for tomorrow. So we got to coast. We'll have some pasta or something tonight. Probably too many carbs. But that's how it is, you know. You make do with what you got. You can't do. I miss a lot of proteins that we really ought to have here, but I cannot afford. And contrary to what anyone might have heard, prices are still going up on everything. Everything. Food is getting more and more expensive, so that sucks. And beyond that, I talked to my friend Marcy. I talked to who am I going to forget that I talked to? I talked to my nephew Timmy, whose birthday it was on the 28th. He turned 44, and he said I might see him this weekend. Might not. Depends on his time and his ability, but it'd be lovely to see him because the last time I saw him was at my sister Nancy's funeral last year in February. So let's see what else. There's a new Flower Kings that I can't wait to dive into. There's a new movie out I would love to see, Thunderbolts. It looks like it's a ton of Marvel fun because I like those characters. I still don't know what this hat means. What's Grooty? It's Grooty Visions. You got me. Please send your entries into what does it mean, John? I would say P.O. Box. I no longer have a P.O. Box for years. I used to have one for years since the 80s, but then eventually got rid of it. There just was no need for it. And what else? Oh, I had to move a lot of stuff over because I was changing from one bank to another. That all finally went through. So that was a lot of this week going to sites and updating things and canceling things and doing things and sometimes wearing a hat and wearing all different kinds of shirts and that sort of thing. But I got all that done, and I briefly saw my friend Bob the other day. That was nice to see him. I know my friend Mike is on vacation. I don't know if he's still on vacation, but I know he was supposed to be going on another cruise. I hope he's having a great time. And I hope you're having a great time, whoever you are. I feel like Romper Room. Here, we'll go. Romper Bomper, Stomper Boo. Magic Mirror, tell me true. Magic Mirror, tell me today, did all my friends have fun at play? I don't have a magic mirror, so that's best I could do. I used to watch that as a kid. I'm not sure I ever liked Romper Room, but I watched Romper Room. I've been watching some of Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. That's been fun. I really haven't seen any movies this week that I recall. No, I don't think so. And it's just been kind of the usual on that end. I think Monday will be the season finale of NCIS, which, in case you don't know it, I've been watching that for years. I like the conversational. I usually figure out who did it inside of 20 minutes. If you pay attention, The person that did the crime in any of these things is always in the first 15 minutes. They just always are. It has to be. So I'm starting to ramble and jabber, blabber, blabber, jabber. Oh, my friend Laura's going through a hard time. I hope things get better for her soon. My nephew Michael injured his foot. It's healing up. My nephew Dave's back to work. That's good. Hope he's feeling well. I hope you're all feeling well. I've run out of things to say. I love you all, and I've never run out of things to say, but I've run out of things to say for this video. I love you all. Bye bye.